shabby and suspicious red van in area where Nicola Bulley disappeared. Guys, if Nicola Bulley was taken from the bench area, if there was a third party involvement, is it possible that they took her in the suspicious red van that a witness reported to the police? Have the police completely missed something here? You know, have they completely ruled out something that's so important? I mean, when you look at the press conference, or if you saw my previous video, then the police officer just doesn't seem serious at all about this suspicious red van that was reported to her. I mean, here's a quick clip from my previous video, and they're not taking any witnesses seriously. For example, there was another witness that reported a suspicious red van in the area. Let's see what the police had to say about that.
The red van has been reported that it was in the area on the morning of the 27th, like many other hundreds of cars that morning.
Well, it wasn't like many other hundreds of cars that morning, was it? Because this vehicle was reported to you as being suspicious.
Really grateful for the witness who has told us about that, and we are continuing to make inquiries to try and track down that specific van. But from my perspective, being in possession of all the facts and information of this case, I do not believe that to be suspicious. But
you do not believe that to be suspicious? Again, a member of public has tried to help you, and you're just fobbing off that information. I mean, how are you supposed to ever find out the truth about Nicola Bulley if you're not going to listen to the public?
We are continuing to investigate that so that we can identify whoever was in the area that time to make sure that they can't give us any further information that will assist the investigation.
Guys, you can clearly see that she just doesn't care. She doesn't believe anything to be suspicious because she's just concentrating on her main hypothesis that Nicola Bulley fell into the river. She's just not willing to listen to any other scenario. She just completely rules out any other possibility. You see, the problem is, guys, there wasn't just one witness that reported this red van. After looking into this for a while, I found that there was a second witness that reported this suspicious red van. I mean, guys, you got two witnesses reporting a suspicious red van, and yet the police do not find this suspicious. It just doesn't make sense. Why don't they find it suspicious? Is it because they're naive? Is it because they're just concentrating on their main hypothesis? Or are they completely clueless? And do they even know how to do their job? I really don't want to put them down, but I just wish that they'd wake up, you know, and look at the facts in the case and stop speculating like what they've been telling the public. Maybe guys, Lancashire police should take their own advice. All this time they've been telling the public not to speculate, but they've been doing it themselves. You know, they've been speculating more than anyone. If they concentrated on the facts in this case and stopped speculating, maybe they'd get somewhere. And with regards to this suspicious red van, it's a fact that two witnesses, two members of public, have reported this suspicious red van. Guys, the police have always relied on information from the public to solve cases. Why don't they want our help with this case? And if you add this to the fact that there were two suspicious men trying to hide their faces in the area that a witness reported, is it possible that Nicola Bulley was taken in that red van by these two suspicious men? And they were trying to hide their faces, so do we even know if they were men? They could have been a man and a woman. They could have been two women. They could have been two men. We just don't know. And we'll probably never find out because, again, the police didn't take this witness seriously. If they took this witness seriously, maybe we'd have more information. I just wish that Lancashire police would take things like this seriously. I mean, it's not like there hasn't been cases from the past that they could have learned from. For example, on the 22nd of April 2022, at about 9:30 a.m. on Friday, a woman called Katie Kenyon left an address in Todmorden Road, Burnley, Lancashire. Katie was reported missing after she was seen getting into a silver van. At the time, police launched an urgent appeal for information about the whereabouts of her. The witness at the time stated that they saw Katie get into an old, tatty, silver Ford Transit van, just like the witness in the Nicola Bulley case said that they saw a suspicious, tatty van. At the time, Chief Inspector Al Davis from the Force Major Investigation Team stated, Katie's disappearance is out of character and her family are understandably very worried. Unfortunately, guys, Lancashire police were not able to help Katie because just a few days after she went missing on the 25th of April, police confirmed that a 50-year-old man had been arrested on suspicion of kidnap. He was known to Katie. Very soon after, on the 26th of April, the 50-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of murder of Katie Kenyon. This is the same man who had earlier been arrested on suspicion of kidnap. Although police hadn't found her body, they believed that she was dead. His name was Andrew Burfield, 51 years old. Mr. Burfield initially denied any knowledge of Katie's whereabouts. It wasn't until April the 29th that Katie's body was found. It was found in a forest in Bowland. A Home Office post-mortem examination was conducted and the cause of death was given as head injuries. Andrew Burfield, 50, appeared at Preston Crown Court by video link from Her Majesty's Prison. He was charged with Miss Kenyon's murder. Burfield from Burnley spoke only to confirm his identity during the 7-minute hearing. He was remanded in custody and the trial date was set for 14th of November. Once the case got to trial, a judge called Andrew Burfield manipulative and controlling, and the attack ferocious and cruel. He sentenced him over the deadly axe attack on Katie Kenyon. He was jailed for life with a minimum term of 32 years for the murder of his ex-girlfriend. The post-mortem showed that the mother of two was struck an estimated 12 times. Burfield buried Katie's body in a grave which he dug the day before her death in the Forest of Bowland in Lancashire. Initially, Burfield told officers he didn't know her whereabouts. He then changed his version of events and revealed where he had buried her body.
April the 29th this year, and Andrew Burfield, dressed in a white boiler suit, leads police officers to the spot in the Forest of Bowland where he'd murdered, then buried Katie Kenyon. Despite taking police to the scene, Burfield denied murdering Katie and only changed his plea to guilty on the third day of his trial this week. Mother of two, Katie Kenyon, had been in an unhappy relationship with Andrew Burfield. On the 22nd of April, he took her in his van to the Forest of Bowland, where he killed her with an axe, later found in his home, before burying her in a grave he dug and prepared the day before. In a police interview the day after the murder, Burfield denied knowing where Katie was and lied that he'd fetch her himself if he knew her whereabouts.
I think she's at a rehab centre.
A rehab centre?
Or some sort of clinic.
Right, okay. I'm going to appeal to you now to let me know if you do know anything at all.
I'll tell you, I'll go and get her myself.
Yeah? Okay, because I'm sure you're aware that her family are really, really concerned.
Yeah.
But a search of Burfield's home uncovered blood-soaked bags containing Katie's flip-flops, and the spot of her blood was found on the washing machine he'd used to clean the clothes he wore when he murdered her. He also sent fake text messages to Katie's family that he prepared weeks before. At his trial this week, Burfield initially claimed he'd accidentally killed Katie when he threw the axe at a tree, before changing his plea to guilty. Today, after Burfield was given a life sentence, the officer leading the investigation spoke outside court, surrounded by Katie's family.
He meticulously planned the murder of Katie to a manner I have never seen before and hope never to see again.